everyone, and welcome to another episode of 20 Tim Minutes. Today, I am joined by actress, Twitch streamer, and mental health advocate, Erin Marie Hogan. Erin, how are you?
Good. I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. I appreciate you asking me. I feel like a lot of people don't ask me back, but I don't care. But I love it.
I'm not great at talking about myself, so I tend to deflect the conversation onto somebody else.
Fantastic. So you're going to be a great guest today.
Oh, yeah, totally. I'm just going to continuously ask you the answers to the questions you're asking me.
Well, like we talked before, I did a deep dive on you, so I'm gonna bring the funk today. So you've been in a bunch of things. I'm gonna go down the list in a bit, but your top two, would you agree, would be Dwelling and House of Manson?
Yeah,
That's
for
like
sure.
that's like if you had to present yourself and be like, you know what, these are my two movies. Come and see them.
Yeah, those would be my top two. For sure.
What out of the two do you like the best?
Dwelling is still my favorite. Um, it just easily. I mean, I got to be such a big role in it, and just the cast and crew in a different city. You know that you make all kinds of memories when you like travel to a different city and you work with a bunch of really talented people on something. But House of Manson very much speaks to uh, my strengths, I think, uh, and it was unique because I got to portray a real person too. But I think if I had to pick one, Dwelling is probably my favorite. I just think it's gorgeous. I think they did a good job.
Yeah,
So,
it's visually great, and I was talking to you about it earlier, where like because it's like you guys move into a house on purpose, and then there's this mirror, and I told you, I was like, the mirror reminded me of Are You Afraid of the Dark? It's like one of the first episodes, like the little girl comes out, and it's all I
yeah.
could think about. It's actually, I think it's on Amazon Prime right now, so if anyone wants to watch it. Uh, Unfortunately, I didn't get to see House of Manson because I didn't want to pay any money because I'm one of those guys that would be like an app on my phone that would help me in my real life. I'm like 199, not buying that.
You're like,
Who did you play again in House of Manson?
I was Linda Kasabian.
People love like the Charles Manson like whole story. Like when I saw Once Upon a
Yeah.
Time in Hollywood, I didn't know that had anything to do with Charles Manson, and my wife was like, "You're an idiot." I was like, "Yeah." I didn't know I needed a history lesson before I went and saw a movie. Um, but
Yeah,
yeah,
it's fascinating.
super fascinating. Like, how do you get into those? Like, does someone just call you up, like your agent, and they're like, "Hey, you have a possible lead." Like, do you know you're gonna be the lead in like a movie Dwelling, like right away, or are you like, I'm just gonna be a background actress?
um, in something like Dwelling or House of Manson, yeah. Um, Usually they approach me or my representation, and I know somebody who's working on it. Like House of Manson, Devaney Pinn did a day or two on Hold Your Breath. So we had a name in common with something, but we hadn't ever worked together. But we had been at a con together once, but that was about the extent of it. And she hit me up on Twitter and was like, "I'm making a Manson movie. Will you do this part?" And I was just
Yeah.
like, "I mean, sure, I guess. Like, I haven't gotten to work with you yet, so let's do that." Um, and then she's the one who told the producers of Dwelling that they should give me that part. So they auditioned me for it. So usually something of lower budget like that, yeah, it goes to me through somebody else or to my management. Um, and then I know what role it is when it, like, as soon as I find out about it. Um, yeah, bigger stuff like that. It's just like, well, they're looking for naked girl number 5. So, you know, if they decide that I am, headshot number 2506 is Erin Marie Hogan and she could be naked and say one line. So, that's then that comes from my agent and it pays a lot more. But,
Really?
oh yeah.
When you have to do like a nude scene, like it's they pay you
Um
more?
those big budget things
Okay.
pay more. Yeah, I usually barely speak and am barely clothed.
When your agent comes to you, like you just said, they're like, okay, we have a part for you. You ready for this? You're going to be hooker number 3. Like, is that what they say to you?
Oh, it's even less than that. It's usually it's I get a text from my manager that says audition tomorrow 10 a.m. Please confirm. And then I go and check my email and it says audition for this basic cable show or that, you know, whatever, prime time, whatever it is.
Right.
And it's like, here's the sides, and the sides say one line and it's something dumb, and then briefly describes what state of undress it is. And then I need to record it and send a slate. And so I text him back and I go, confirmed. And then I send the tape when it's done, and then we just pretend it never happened, and then maybe I get paid to show up and maybe I don't.
Now, now you just said the word slate. What is that?
They just want when you do a slate, all of your auditions, whether you go in or you record it, they're going to want a body shot and your like name, height, and then whatever else they want depends on casting or the producer or whatever. They might want you know, they might want you to confirm that you can work as a local in Pensacola or something. Who knows? Whatever it is, So they just want you to say a couple things, including your name and your height, usually, and do a full body shot.
Now, sorry to keep harping on this because it's super interesting. When I always thought about that, it's like how did you get over that when you got into acting? You're like, you know what, I'm okay with doing nudity, and then like when they have you in there and you send the shots, it's like, oh, here's my nude. I get this part. You know what I mean? I just find that super interesting, and I've always thought about something like that in a movie.
um, I mean, once I did it a couple times, and it was like, this isn't really that big of a deal, and especially after Paranormal Entity was, I think, the first thing that you actually saw anything in
Hmm.
when I didn't have clothes on screen, and that kind of became like a bigger internet thing than I expected it to. So once that happened, I was like, well, I mean, I don't have a massive problem with it. And this is already out there. Like, I'm not going to be a senator. Like, let's be real. So
You're like, fuck it.
I mean, it's fine. If people want to keep giving me slightly more money to just take my clothes off, then I guess I'll just go ahead and do that because I don't really care.
Right. We're all born naked anyway. It's like, fuck it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, sex scenes are a lot different and I'm touchy about those. But as far as nudity, like, you know, as long as my legs are closed, I don't really care.
Right. And that was going to be my next question because I feel like that has to be a little bit awkward is like having a sex scene when you're not having sex. And then I looked up this thing called a modesty patch and I saw that you talked about that. Can you explain what that is and then the issue that you had with that on set?
Yeah. So usually when you do, well, not usually, you're supposed to, when you do a sex scene or even when you do nudity, you'll have a modesty patch, which is, there's a technical name for it. I don't know. I just always call it a sticky patch thing. And I
I
mean, it's
like it.
basically, it looks like a nude colored thong, but it sticks to your skin rather than having straps.
Okay.
So it basically just covers up exactly what I'm not okay with showing, which is essentially just between your legs.
Right.
and
Right.
and that's pretty much it. So it just kind of, it's like it's like nipple pasties, but it's for your vajayjay.
That's the best way to put it.
So yeah, it ensures that that can't be seen or anything like that. But it's also a sanitary issue. A lot of times, I don't know if it's actually necessary or not necessary, but like a mandated thing. I'm actually not sure if men always wear cock socks or not.
You gotta patent these. I think so because I remember in like Parks and Rec where Chris Pratt did like a quick nudity thing, and he got like a message from like ABC or whatever they were, and they were like, "Yeah, you can't do that." I think there is a lot of legal things behind that. But again,
Yeah.
I'm just a viewer, so I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah. So yeah, women will wear the modesty patch, and then men will usually have essentially, not even essentially, it is a like sock with a shoestring around it, and you just like put your stuff in it and then tie it. Um, but it's also a sanitary thing. It gives like a
Yeah.
layer of 2 layers of clothing between two people as well, so that nothing can happen there. Um, yeah, and that's kind of the standard. So usually, if women have to be nude, they'll have a modesty patch, and men will have uh, a cock sock.
Nice.
I don't
No,
know what you would actually call it. That I've never heard it referred to anything except cock sock.
I think that is the professional term. I think you can buy those at the store. Now you had an issue with one of those. I saw one of your tweets, which I actually like following you on social media. Like I truly do because you are very open and give zero fricks. But
It's true.
can you explain what happened with that?
Yeah, I had a sex scene one day, and on lower budget things, and I'll put this out here
Mhm.
really quick as well. On lower budget things, if you have nudity or a sex scene, you will shoot it the first day.
Okay.
So there's no way that you're going to show up to set and like maneuver your way around doing it. Like at least most of it will be shot the first day because then you have no leverage. So if you're not okay with it, don't say you are. Just don't show up unless you want me to get your part because that's how I get cast like the night before all the time. Um so I showed up, I got cast the night before. And I showed up, and like the first thing we were shooting is the sex scene, and we wardrobe did not bring a modesty patch.
And you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Um which isn't great
No.
because now I'm in this position where it's my first day on set, and like I've got to either I have to like pick my battles, and I don't know if the rest of it's going to be fine. Like is this like the only thing that's going to go wrong? So yeah, I didn't really know what to do or say, and like I ended up doing the scene with the guy had his underwear on and I
Okay.
had nothing. And I ended up having to do it that way. It was basically like the director looked at me and was like, "Well, I mean, you seem like you're cool. Like, you know, you're not going to like be a problem or anything. Just take your pants off." And
Was it hot?
I was just like,
Yeah.
um, yeah, no, totally. Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Because
Sure.
I was gonna ask if like you were like, do I really have to, or you were like afraid to ask because that does seem like a dicey thing because you want the role, but then you also don't want to be like, I don't want to fuck this up. But that is like that's kind of like a shitty thing. That's like wicked
Yeah.
shitty actually.
Yeah. That would not fly with me now, having done so much nudity, even though like a lot of times I show up to set and I get a modesty patch even if I'm wearing a thong on set
Right.
to like wear underneath it. So like eh, there's really no reason that would not fly now, but I was afraid to ask.
Yeah.
I was getting to be a lead in a feature length thing, and I didn't want to cause any problems. There were issues with people at this place thinking that I was like some kind of like unstable, crazy person because I had panic attacks already. And so I didn't want them to have a reason to think something was wrong with me. And so I just kind of went, no, yeah, totally. No, it's fine. And did it. And that's not how things are going to work now. And they haven't for quite a while. This was like 10, 11 years ago.
Okay, I was
But
about to ask that. What
yeah,
would be 10 or 11 years ago? What is that? What year is that? 2001? No, 2011 ish.
yeah, 2011, I think.
Okay, I don't know math. I just
Yeah,
podcast.
2011, 2012, something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, yeah, this is not That's not how you ought to be treating people who are being put in a vulnerable situation that you're in charge of
Right.
on your set. Uh, yeah. So I know a couple. There weren't very many women on that set, and they seemed very upset by what was happening. But then, what are they supposed to do? Like, one of them obviously brought up how upset she was, like, to me personally, and then I think she said something to somebody else. But I mean, what are they going to do? Like, what are they going to cause a problem on my behalf after I just said it was okay? Like, now
Hmm.
they're in a terrible position. So, yeah, just the things are they're like $1 or $2 or something. Just go get one.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not it's not a big deal. Just be prepared or expect that your actress won't take her pants off. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like take a quick five, go to CVS or wherever you buy those things and get and take care of it. Now, I feel like those years were like very shitty, like the 2010s. It was like you can get away with that in a way, and it's
Yeah.
good that it changed 10 years later because that is unfortunate. So that was in 2011. Let's jump to the mental health aspect of it all because that's why I definitely wanted to have you on, especially with all the other cool things that you do. So it's like a 2 for 1 or a 3 for 1. But you came out in 2015, right, about your mental health issues.
Yeah, I
What
think so.
what was that like, and what was the story you told, and maybe like why did you tell it as well? Like what was the driving force to be like, you know what, I'm just gonna go out with this.
Um I had gotten to a point where there were so many like lies and exaggerations about the simplest things, like me having a panic attack and needing 5 to 10 minutes to
Hmm.
myself, to like somebody doing something to me and me trying to pass it off, and then they start having a fit like I've done something to them when I'm just trying to, all these things that happen in everyday relationships, but they happen even more when everybody's a performer, and like if you bring that person down then you're going to get ahead, and I'm like, no, that's not how this works. That's just mean. Why are you being that way? um it happens more in entertainment, but it's stuff that happens all the time in normal life. There were some people in particular that were running around at the time, like making it impossible for me to work, um, by either getting me just entirely blacklist from a company, or emailing people that I was supposed to work with and telling them lies about me, or straight up harassing and bullying me to make me legitimately have some kind of panic attack, or go into depression, to like we
So was
it's a mess that they, what finally made me say something about it was that a friend of mine went somewhere and heard somebody say, like, oh well, yeah, but Erin's opinion doesn't matter because Erin's crazy. And like with everything that was going on, it seems like such a small thing, but it's like, am I though? Because this person knew, who said this, knew all kinds of the things that other people were doing to me that were really bothering me at the time, as well as the fact that I had mental health issues that I was seeing a therapist, seeing a psychiatrist for. And they knew this as a friend, like in confidence. And they're running around in public calling me crazy and like discrediting anything that I do or say. And I thought it was really fucked up. Sorry,
yeah.
I apologize for my language. At that point, I was just like, I can't. There's so many people who are having issues like this, and I'm not working at this point anyway. So why hide it? If I just tell people, like maybe I'll help somebody, and then also this person's gonna look like the jerks that they are
Yep. Hmm.
because they know these things about me and they're running around trying to discredit me, using this against me like that. And it's so messed up. And since I started talking about it, a lot of people have reached out and said, I haven't wanted to say anything, or, I people say that I'm using it as an excuse when I just say like I'm having anxiety. Like it's
Yeah.
become like a trendy thing, like put your anxiety on a t-shirt. And I'm like, yeah, no, it's not cute or trendy. It's not super fun to have anxiety attacks and relatable. Like, no, it sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks. It's terrible. And we need to talk about everybody going and talking to a therapist. So that's, I mean, yeah, the long and short of the deep and shallow reasons why I came out with it is you look like a jerk now. And also, people really need to talk about this
Hmm.
because people like you are jerks. so, so here it is. Here's me. What better way to talk about it? Let's just put my whole story on blast.
I feel like when you do open up, for me too, you might agree, is when you do open up, it's like such a huge relief, and to get people that do reach out. Unfortunately, there is shitty people that will say things, and but it is such a relief. You would agree, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah, for
definitely is.
sure. Um, but I completely understand people not wanting to be open about it because the amount of like work that I've lost over things that aren't true or over people hearing a story and then thinking that I'm entirely mentally unstable and I'm going to jeopardize something for them, like that's not a thing. That's not a thing. And if you took 2 seconds to sit down and talk to me about it, you would know that like when I'm working is when I'm happy. And when I'm sitting at home by myself doing nothing is when I get severely depressed.
Yep.
So you not hiring me is contributing to my depression. Please hire me.
Yeah. Reverse psychology.
No, that's, but yeah, that's how it is people just have these assumptions, and we need to talk about it. We need to destigmatize seeking help, getting therapy. If medication is for you and you want to do that, we need to destigmatize getting medication for the things that you need help with, because and if it's not and other things work for you, there's lots of options, do that too. But we really need to stop assuming that every person who sees a therapist is a future serial killer. It's so dangerous, and so many people are just suffering in silence and not able to talk about it because they're afraid of the backlash that they're going to get and how much of their life will be ruined over something that they just need help with.
I agree. And would you say that your mental health issues started around like 2011, or was it did you something that you felt like when you were younger? Like when did it start, and what were you diagnosed with officially?
Um, they did not start in 2011. I have been in and out of therapy for most of my life. Um, but there was this thing that whenever we got kind of to the root of the problem when I was younger and wasn't in charge of my own medical decisions, that suddenly I didn't need to go to the therapist anymore. And so, or that therapist wasn't good and we'll find another one, but then we didn't for
Yeah,
years. And that's not a great way to get help. So you've got to be you've got to be on top of it. So when I was younger, I think it was mostly, I don't remember being an angry child at all, but it was like described as me having anger issues. And now as an adult, I'm sitting here like, no, I was a really sad kid who was like kind of being emotionally abused. Like,
yeah.
yikes. Nice way to blame me and act like I'm like an angry crazy person when I'm like 6, but that's cool. Um,
Kids being kids.
yeah, but I think it got a lot worse when I was a teenager, and I stayed pretty stable, just keeping myself busy, like staying out of the house constantly, like having to strive to succeed at literally anything that I wanted to do. Like I had to be good at it. I had to be the best at literally everything. And I'd spend all my time doing that so that I didn't have to be around any of my issues. Um, and then in college, things just kind of, there just came a point where everything just kind of crashed down around me. And that's when I started taking my mental health a lot more seriously and started really looking into like, okay, am I actually angry? Because I don't feel angry. Like I feel like the whole world sucks and hates me. If that doesn't sound like anger to me. That sounds like I hate myself and I hate you too.
Yeah.
But I want to cry about it, not like I want to punch you over it.
Equality, hate everyone equally.
Yeah. So yeah, I started looking like taking it more seriously, and it took a really, really long time. I was diagnosed for the longest time as being bipolar, which I am not. Um, at least right now, we don't. That is not what we believe right now. After a very, very, very long time, um, right now I am diagnosed with anxiety and major depression, and it's pretty evident that I have some pretty severe PTSD. Uh,
Oh, that's what I was going to ask too, if like that, all those things happened. And there's another question I want to ask you after that. Um,
yeah, yeah, it's pretty. I There were so many things to work through that we haven't really gotten too far into the PTSD, because there was so much that I needed to deal with and be okay with, like right now, that I've only kind of really gotten to the point of like looking back at everything, and there's a lot um that like flashbacks and things like that that I didn't even know were flashbacks, or the way that I've reacted in the past to things, just um then in the nicest way possible, to have an anxiety attack that results in me crying and being completely debilitated and thinking that a whole lot's going on that isn't really all that bad. um I wasn't relating that to me really. I wasn't processing that that was me thinking that exactly what happened to me in the past was happening now. I was just like, well, I have some kind of issue where everybody hates me, and the problem is definitely with me because everybody keeps saying that it's with me and I'm the problem, and I don't know what's going on, so I should just die.
yeah.
And that's kind of how I thought about it. It didn't really occur to me that, hey, wait a minute, I'm like actually in this position right now, reacting exactly the way that I probably should have when this originally happened. Um, so yeah, that's a more recent development now that I'm in a much better place.
Yeah, it seems like you are, which is great. Did you ever have suicidal thoughts or anything?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
Yeah. A lot. Yeah. That's a yeah.
Yeah, we
That's
don't have to go into it. Because I was the same
yeah.
way. Like, I would always be like, I just want to die. Like, I would be driving, and I'd be like, you know what? My car would flip, and I'd be okay with it. Like,
Yeah, it's that kind of thing where I feel like people don't get too worried about you until you really have a plan,
yeah,
which I never had. Um it was always that kind of thing where it was just like, everyone hates me, I hate them, the whole world sucks, it's not getting any better. Like, it'd be dope if my car just went off the overpass right now. Like,
yeah.
that's fine. Oh damn, I'm over the overpass. Oh well, next time. Like, it's just it was
Shucks.
always that kind of thing. It's like thoughts. Yes. The thoughts in the past, yeah, for sure. But I think people very much think of it as like, nothing's wrong with you if you're not holding a knife and a bottle of pills, just ready to do it right now. And it's like, people do that, but also like, you shouldn't want to end your life at all.
No.
That's not a healthy state of mind to be in, and you should speak to somebody. Um,
I,
so yeah, it
I
was
always
always
said
that kind of thing though.
I agreed with you earlier, and I was gonna say this was I feel like everyone should go see a therapist at least once a year. Like go and talk to someone that has no dog in the fight, that just doesn't
Yeah.
know you, and it's a professional person that just listens to you. Like I talk to
Yeah.
my therapist, it's like a stand up bit. You know what I mean? I just that's how I get it out is with my comedy, and that's why I do this podcast because I try to keep it light for people that can. It's serious, but we can try to laugh about it, like break the stigma by cracking a smile, and
Yeah.
what we need now with the people like having that feeling of people that hate you. I feel like we talked about this, um, and it seems like that, and I don't know why it would happen, but your mental health was used against you. In like a type of movie. We don't have to get into too much detail about that, but like, what's like the gist of that backstory, and how fucked up was it?
um, it's happened to me more than once.
Oh damn.
Um, so much, which is part of the reason why I'm so open about it, because it was essentially like eh, it always goes like this. Somebody knows a little bit more than maybe the general public knows about um either like my diagnosis or something in particular that's bothering me or something of that nature. Just the state of, yesterday I couldn't get out of bed. Like it might be something like that. I had a particularly bad day and I was way too depressed. And I'm a little bit better today, so I'm walking around. Like it could be as simple as that. It always goes with that little piece of information. And then this person will say, "You're pathetic. You're sitting around living off of your fiance while I'm doing all of these great things. And you're sad. You're like a child. You can't do anything for yourself. You should just go sit at home in your bed and cry and talk to your wallpaper because you're a crazy person." I was like, I don't remember mentioning I was going to talk. That's an actual quote, by the way.
No way. It's like
Some,
I don't even have wallpaper.
yeah. Another actress, I don't have wallpaper actually.
Yeah, you're crazy if you have wallpaper now.
Like, another actress actually told me once, like, that I just sit at home and cry and talk to my wallpaper. And I was like, I don't remember bringing that up. I think you made that part up. Like, I think you made up the part about me living off of my fiance. Like, we're definitely partners in this. He just makes more than I do because
Yeah.
I'm an actor, as are you. We probably make comparable salaries because it's standardized by the union.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, it's it's so aggravating. I've had people just entirely try to flip anything about me into like I'm crazy and I might jeopardize someone's production. So therefore, I'm a better person than you, Erin, because I'm not crazy and you're never going to do anything in your life. So just give up. I'm just like, that's not really how I choose to speak to people anymore because I'm an adult now.
Yes.
I choose not to make people hate themselves more than they already do. So, um, but it's really common, especially in this business. But it's really common, like all that internet troll stuff. Like you should just kill yourself. That idiot trolls that don't know you say like people in the entertainment industry will just say that to your face, and it's like okay, cool. Like either you can deal with it or you can't. So be aware. It happens a lot.
It seems so cutthroat, which is like, from what you tell me, it's people don't give a flying fuck about anything and anyone. It's about them. They'll jump anyone they can. For the most part, I feel like, and not everyone's like that, but I feel like a lot of people seem to be like that. No.
Yeah, I mean the people that I out of all the people that I've worked with, the people that are the most successful are the ones who are genuinely kind anytime that I have any interaction with them personally.
Hmm.
um, the most cutthroat people are the people that, you know, have a resume that doesn't even look like mine, and that's really saying something. And so I'm just sitting there looking at them like, I don't know what you're trying to prove to me. Like, I've got 2 more crap films on my resume than you do, and like I don't see you going literally anywhere. I'm pretty sure this is an ego grab. Like, you're putting me down because I've admitted that I have mental health issues, and you don't want to admit that you obviously do. So it's not my place to put your mental health out there, but I really think you should talk to a therapist, because this is not a healthy, normal human reaction to anything that's going on.
I feel like people like us that open up, we're very self-aware of everything. I like how you're like, yeah, I get these true crap films. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have that
Yeah.
egotistical side like they do. And I remember seeing your tweet that you replied to somebody like, they're like, oh, I love you in like this movie or something like that. You're like, ah, my whole reel is a landfill. And I was like, dude, I was like, the self-deprecating of that, but like it is kind of true. It's like
Yeah.
I'll definitely like list like what you've been in, and like we talked about the Dwelling House of Manson. Like, you've had about 5 episodes in Ray Donovan. Like, you're in things, and then I think my favorite one where I told you I was like, you're in Conan O'Brien, and you got to do you got to do the string dance.
It
I was like,
did.
that should be on the like the top of the list.
I
And
know.
I thought that was amazing. And the commercial is funny because it's like you're a dancer, and then the guy like whispers in your ear, and then you just do the dance. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
And then obviously the music video for Young Said, "I Got Your Girlfriend Drunk" is probably one of your greatest features I've ever seen in my life. I I found your second YouTube page. Like, that's how I'm like I go deep. And I saw that, and I watched the whole thing. So pause this interview, go YouTube Young Said CED, "I Got Your Girlfriend Drunk." Absolute jam.
Oh my God. So long ago.
Yeah, it wasn't even like HD, it was like 360p.
Yeah, it's so old. So old. We like shot that way back in St. Louis. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was it's an interesting video to say the least. But
Yeah.
then another big movie that you were in, it's a mockbuster, which I need you to explain to people because I didn't know what that was. It was called Paranormal Entity, right?
Yeah.
And you were
Uh
uncredited in it, right?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, explain
Uh
that whole thing.
okay. Well, just to clarify also, this that we're about to talk about is mostly why I refer to my resume and my reel as being a landfill. Um, because like I have a ton of fun and I put my all into everything that I work on,
You should.
but I'm not going to kid myself and think that I'm making Oscar worthy things. Like, I'm just not. Like, I'm not going to present myself to the world as though I think I'm Kate Winslet or something. Like, no, I'm Erin Marie Hogan. Like, I live in a house and it needs repairs because this is a job that I need to survive. Like, so I mean, I'm realistic about it. Like, some of the stuff I've done, it's real bad. I'm fully aware you don't need to tell me it's bad. I will be the first person to tell you that. It doesn't mean I'm not proud of most of it.
Right,
Like,
self-awareness.
yeah, I mean, it's like I just people like act like they're like you can't say anything bad about your own movie. I'm like, I don't have any stake in this. I don't get paid when you watch this crap. I don't
Yeah.
care. Like, I hope you like it. I put a lot of work into it. A lot of other people put a lot of work into it. Some of them might even be proud of it. But let's be real. Like, this is not going to like Sundance. I'm
Yeah,
not
right.
getting best actress for my role as naked hooker number 7. Like, it's not going to happen. Let's be real. It's
Me and my
just,
me and my
you
buddy
know,
had a huge debate about that because he was like, any movie the director is like, you know what, this is gonna be the best movie ever. And I'm like, there's no way a guy like takes a movie and he's like, you know what, this is it. Let's do it. Like, maybe you get like you strike like you strike gold with like something like a Sharknado, which like, but like I don't see like movies like that being like, we're gonna get the award, we're gonna do this. Like, do directors do that?
um,
Like, they just hype it up too much and they just have a vision that they just is not gonna get to?
well, yes. So
So I'm wrong. Shit.
with um so with mockbusters, I mean, with mockbusters, it's always the new actors and some like PA. who thinks that they're making a masterpiece. And I'm like,
Right.
this isn't a masterpiece. Like, this is literally like Goldilocks and the Three Bears retold because some major studio released a version of it 6 months ago. Like, that's, come on. Like, why are you talking? I just remember working on like some of these things. Like, so mockbusters are basically, there's a smaller studio that will make, every time some big successful movie has come out in theaters, when it comes out on DVD, which isn't really a thing anymore. But the format was, when it would come out on DVD, they would hurry up and make a lower budget version of it that they could name something very close so that they would be on the shelves next to each other and people would rent the wrong movie.
That's so funny to me, but it's like a great marketing tool.
It's literally what it is, though. So people are like, "Oh, you did this Paranormal Activity knockoff," and I'm like, "Yeah, no shit. Like, did you think I wasn't aware? Like, I'm fully under. Like the casting call said a Paranormal Activity like movie. Like, I'm fully aware of the nonsense that I signed up for, and I needed the job and the paycheck. Like, I mean, like, it's just, it is what it is. So,
Paranormal Activity light.
Paranormal Activity, like, it was something of that nature, but it specifically referenced, like, we're making a movie that is like Paranormal Activity. So it's like, anybody who knows how to read is going to know, like, yeah, that's what I'm doing. So telling me, oh, you did this rip-off version of Paranormal Activity is not an insult. You're just stating a fact that I'm fully aware of already. So you sound real dumb. And so I just don't respond to those people.
And you were uncredited in that, right?
Yeah. So they initially released it, and I don't know if it was the plan or not, but it was leaked on the internet. And I don't know if they actually planned it that way or if somebody actually did leak it, because then it did come out on DVD when it was supposed to. But it was like leaked, and I just started getting all these messages in the middle of the night, like, I just saw your boobs on the internet. And I was like, I'm like, where? Like, what's happening? I don't understand. Yeah, so that kind of blew up, but since I was uncredited and I was like, I've been an actress since I was like 14, but nobody had any idea who I was. Like, at least 1 in 100,000 will have some idea as to what my name is at this point, but then nobody had any idea. So people like really thought that I was this Samantha Finley girl and I was dead. And most people didn't. But, you know, the people who don't actually think you're dead aren't going to tweet you asking if you're okay either.
Yeah.
So I just kept getting all these tweets like, oh my God, please tell me you're not dead. And I'm like, this is adorable. But also, let's go through the process as to how you found me here on this platform, right? Okay. You watched a movie, and this girl who looks like me, which was me, by the way, named Samantha Finley dies, right? So then you looked up Samantha Finley, or is Samantha Finley dead? And then you found Erin Marie Hogan, that's me, and then you went to my social media and you still said, please tell me you're not dead, knowing full well that Erin Marie Hogan is not Samantha Finley and Erin Marie Hogan is alive, and therefore...
They're like, I don't get it. She dead. She ain't dead.
The answer, it's right here. I'm talking to you right now, guys. I'm alive. It was weird. It was weird. It was weird to deal with. But it was fun. It was cute. I appreciated all the concern. I'm alive.
See, they're not all trolls, which is good, but it was thanks for ruining the movie. So we're gonna have to put a spoiler alert right before that if someone wants to go watch Paranormal Entity.
Well, I mean, they ruin it in a misspelled title card at the very beginning of the film anyway, so.
They did?
Yeah, the Paranormal Entity opens up with a title card that says, like, oh, Thomas Finley was found with the bodies of his sister, and yeah, and it's like, well, now I know what happens.
I go, maybe something will change. And I
Yeah.
found another great video of you. I'm not a creep. I just do my research. You went and rented your own movie, and you
Yeah.
recorded it like on like a flip phone.
Yeah. I did. Um, yeah, I had a sidekick at that point. I think that was recorded on a sidekick, actually.
Wow. I think there was like an old woman that was like, they were like, "Is that you?" That and it was
Yeah,
like
there
still.
was so the one of the young girl, I recognized the guy who was working there, but the young girl, I actually knew her as a kid, and I don't think she remembered me at all. I was like, I'm not gonna say anything. But
Look at me now.
look at me now. I made $700 on this supposedly $16 million grossing film.
No shit.
I mean, I signed the contract, but like that's how that works.
But you gotta build a resume, which at the time is probably
Right,
you'll
right.
take it. But that is like I would not be able to guess that number at all, and that's super interesting. So I appreciate you sharing that.
I mean, I don't even know. I don't know what that movie really made, but I remember it saying like 16 million overseas on the IMDb or something like that, and I was like, huh, okay,
You're probably huge in Japan right now. Like some guy has
right.
like 20 issues of Paranormal Entity. Um,
Oh, like cool. So just so you guys know, I got no part of that. I got my like $700 up front.
that's
That's it.
fucking
Don't
awesome.
think buying releases and re-releases that I get any money for it, because they
Right.
don't.
When people get like the like 10 cents check for like
Oh yeah.
for
The
reproduction.
the only residuals checks I've gotten in like the past 6 to 8 years have been for the one episode of Ray Donovan that I talked in. I get like a $2.07 check every quarter or something.
That's pretty cool you got into that show. People love that show.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a good
that's a good
show.
one to have.
Yeah, it was really fun to work on. Everybody was really cool. That's another one of those examples of like the most successful people are the most chill and just they don't need to put you down and make you feel like crap. It's like obviously they're doing things I'm not. They don't need to remind me of that and make me
Right.
feel bad, you know.
Lee Schreiber's on my like man crushes. He's a smooth dude. I love him in The Goon. He does the NHL HBO voiceovers. That guy rocks. But I've never seen Ray Donovan. I don't really watch much.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a good show.
yeah, my
I
wife is
liked it.
crushing it right now, and
Yeah.
it's insane. Now I want to go over it with the fans again because like I know you've done like cons for like what are the cons that you go to, like horror cons, like what would they be called?
Yeah. Mostly horror cons.
So you have to interact with fans, and that must be super awkward because you might have to deal with the type of people that are like, "Hey, I thought you were dead," or like they might say creepy things, or like my favorite thing I like to see is when a guy takes a photo with you, but he doesn't want to like touch you, so he does like the hover arm because he doesn't want to
Yeah.
get in trouble. That's my favorite move.
I prefer that move.
Oh, 100%.
Um because yeah, you'd be surprised. Like if I weren't at a con and I like met that guy, okay, probably not that guy because he's being awkward right now, but
Right, right.
if some random guy on the street would have just tried to grab me inappropriately. So I appreciate the awkward move, hover arm, as funny as it is.
It is funny.
It is appreciated. So thank you for not groping me without asking consent. I appreciate it. Um, yeah, no, I mean, it's mostly awkward because there aren't that many of them. Uh, so I spend a lot of time just sitting at a table, like,
just people watching.
hey, and I feel
Uh,
really awkward about like selling myself. I I could sell anyone or anything, but myself is not among those. So I'm just kind of sitting there and like people will come up and there's this weird thing where people always tap on your things when they're on your con table.
what do you
And
mean?
I've I've talked to quite a few guests about this, and I don't know, I think maybe people are just thinking about maybe I want to get this or something like that, but there's like a thing where it'll just constantly like people will sit and do this for the longest time, like on your headshots or something, and I'm just like
Are they trying to figure out who you are, or like are they trying to be like, I
maybe
want to buy this, or
it's
that's
it's almost like that, It's almost like that. It's like, who is this? It's like, but I'm also in front of you. You could just add my name's on that big banner. Like, um, that's always really weird because I don't know how to be like, you want to buy that thing your paws are all over or no?
Yeah.
Like,
You touch it, you buy it, pal.
yeah, now that you like smeared your fingerprints all over that formerly glossy photo that I had printed up, but they're not that expensive. So I just always leave the paw printy one on the top.
But I
Saying it's
think
fine.
too, for a fan, if I was in that position, I would feel awkward to be like, "Oh, I don't know who you are." Or, like, I can see why that it is tough for someone
Yeah.
to do that.
I think it makes it a whole lot more awkward the fact that I'm awkward. And so we've already got like whether the person who's standing at my table came to see me and they're feeling awkward because they're excited to meet me,
Mhm.
or they came to see somebody else and they're like, the hell are you and why are you here? Like, it's already going to be awkward.
Yeah,
And then I'm awkward and I'm not somebody who's going to have someone handling my money or something for me. So I'm just sitting there by myself, like, I guess I'm supposed to initiate this conversation, but
yeah.
I am not good in social situations. So we're just going to sit here staring at each other, I guess. Like, I don't know what to do.
You got to get the fanny pack though. When you rock the fanny pack and you like take the money and do all that, I love that move. That's a big professional wrestling, like retired wrestler. They just have the leather
The
fanny
fanny
pack
pack.
and they just like take your money.
Yeah. I always, I tend to appreciate if I do have a manager that handles like specifically cons, and I don't go to that many anymore. I don't go to any because of COVID. But
Mhm.
when he was able to be there, then I was like, okay, yeah, like he'll be there, and then I don't have to ask people for money or whatever. Or one time I paid for another actress to go down there too, and then we shared a table. They were paying for me to go, and then I was like, okay, well, I'll just use out of that money. I'll pay for her ticket. Then we'll just take our own money and then split the joint money, and it makes it less awkward for me. So I didn't really mind that much.
It's got to be fun though. I would have a blast doing that. Well, maybe not, but I like watching people. Like I go to the airport like 4 hours early and just stare at everybody. I'm like, this is fascinating. I love staring at people.
I get so anxious. Like
Oh,
it just it's I'm in this constant state of like I can't decide if I want to have a conversation with somebody or if I want to just be completely unnoticed.
yeah.
And it seems like whatever state I'm in at the time, the opposite will absolutely happen. So it's like, like if I'm walking around with my headphones on, listening to music, like maybe don't wave at me and approach me. Just let me be.
Yeah.
But like if I'm like, hi, like maybe don't just ignore me.
Yeah.
Or maybe I don't understand social cues. I'm not sure. But either way, I'm awkward and it makes conventions really awkward because I'm constantly just wanting I know that I should initiate a conversation and that I should say, "Hey, my stuff's like super cheap and you should buy it because I like this movie in particular."
Right.
Because that's what people are there to meet people and to buy things. Like
Yeah.
and see a panel if they paid for that or if it's free, like that's why they came. And I'm just bad at selling anything that I'm part of. I'm just like, I don't understand why you would care at all. So um it feels very awkward to just sit here and sell myself to you. I don't know.
If you ever come out to Boston, I'm gonna go and I'm just gonna go and tap on all your shit and then just and I'm gonna come with like 20 paranormal entities and a Young Said CD and make you sign it and then just run away. And you're like, do I know that guy? And I would never say that was
Just
me.
not say anything at
Yeah.
all.
I was like,
Just
I'm a
dump
big
it all
fan.
on the table.
Yeah. Sign it now. And I'm just tapping all the shit and then I run away. I think that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, people have the weirdest rules at cons. Like a lot of times like cons will determine like you have to sign this thing that they bought from the convention and not charge for it, or like you have to charge this much for a picture. But for the most part, people kind of set their own prices, and people who are much more famous than me charge a whole lot.
Oh yeah.
But like people that I've never heard of, and I'll like look at their credits and I'm like, oh, you were like a featured extra on something. Like they'll be charging like $40 for an autograph. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
I would turn
Like,
right around.
what is this? Like, you're going to stay just having that one role. Who's going to pay this? I don't understand. But people do it. And I'm just like, it's just not that serious. Like, I need to make what I would make if I were at home.
Yeah.
That's my condition to being here. I need to be safe. I need to be fed properly. And I need to make what I would make if I were at home working. That's it. So tap on it, then I'll just put that crappy one on top of all the good ones.
It's like with Cameos. I'll go on like cameo.com and just like see what people sell. Like I would never buy one, but I'm like, these people are fucking egomaniacs. I'm like,
right?
I would sell mine for like $1 and just say nothing.
I mean, it is like, it's time, and I feel like I don't know what goes into other people's contracts. I imagine if you don't need to be there for the money or any, then I guess maybe they're not paying you that much. So then you charge more for stuff. And I'm like, I always assume they can't afford to pay me because like nobody's going to be there. So then when I show up, if people are actually there, then I'm like, oh, cool, dope. But like, I don't know. I just genuinely want to see anybody who does care about anything that I've done and
it's a good
talk
feeling
to
though.
them. And yeah, if they weren't able to find my DVD, then maybe they can get a signed one. Or if they had a signed one, maybe they'll buy a picture and I'll sign the DVD they already have. Like it's
Yeah.
whatever.
I'm definitely showing up with my own Erin Marie Hogan tee and just
yeah. I'm not going to charge you to sign something that I did not have to do anything for.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
That's so funny. Now let's end with some fun because I know you're a Twitch streamer now. That's pretty much your main focus right now. Like, what are your favorite games to play now? And like, were you a gamer your whole life?
I was a really big gamer when I was a whole lot younger, and then I started getting really, really competitive. I was always really competitive, but your parents don't have to deal with it when you're really competitive at like physical sports.
Mm-hmm.
You get home and they're just like, well, you're not going to be able to play basketball anymore if this is how you're going to act every time you lose. So just go win next time. And then that's kind of it. But video games, they would have to listen to me being mad at home. So I was never crazy about it, but I'd like throw the controller or whatever.
We're the same person. We're the same.
Yeah.
I was the same way. I'd be like,
I just like, I'd be upset and I'd be like, like,
what did
whatever.
you play back in the day? Like, what was your system? Because I think we're about the same age. So
I had a Super Nintendo.
That's my favorite system of all time.
Yeah. I had the Super Nintendo. I'm pretty sure my parents just sold it since they sold the house.
I got all mine. I got every system from
really?
Nintendo up. Yeah, I'm an avid video game collector.
I had the Super Nintendo and I had the like original Game Boy.
Same. Yep. And then I had the see-through one as well.
That's where I stopped. I think the color ones started coming out, and I know the Sega Genesis came out.
Mm-hmm.
And then the console that came at, which I think was the Xbox. I think the GameCube.
N64.
N64.
That came out first. See?
And my parents were like, do you really need to, like, do you want to do that? Or do you want to play like softball or whatever next year? And I was like, I guess I'll just play softball.
Oh, bad decision.
Okay. So we're just not going to buy you any more consoles. And it just became not a topic because I had a lot of other things that I was interested in. And so, I was into the arts and I went to school and I did sports year round. So it wasn't a big deal. And then when I got a lot older and, PC games became it, because it also used to be that we played those like really like terrible games on like a floppy disk on your PC.
Yeah.
Like all those games I played.
Oregon Trail.
Oh,
selling lemonade. Like what's the weather going to be tomorrow? I got to buy 20 ice cubes.
I had like Sticky Bears numbers and like spelling and stuff that I would just like sit there and play like educational games like it was actually fun. And I'm like,
Yeah.
this isn't fun. I think I'm just supposed to think it's fun. I was obsessed with all of those. So once I was able to get a PC and start playing games and stuff again, I'm like, I guess I'll just put it on the internet because this is going to be really bad. So it might be really funny.
Yeah. And
So
you
I
get
don't, whatever.
and you get the cat ears. I feel like that is like Twitch
I
101.
do.
You gotta.
I
I should have worn mine.
have these. And then I also have,
It's a nice. It's a nice. What is it?
so I've got
Oh.
two
Okay.
kinds. I'm very pink.
Yeah.
I've got two kinds of pink. All the things are pink.
That's
Yeah. The mouse is pink, the keyboard pad is pink, chair is pink. Because it's fun. Like,
pink everything.
look, I'm 35, okay?
Yeah. Same girl. Same. Is your favorite artist Pink?
I love Pink.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
I was in one of her music videos too.
Oh wow. You're killing it. I love it. I love the
Good.
resume. I'm a huge fan of the resume.
Yeah, I was in a Raise Your Glass. I was in the video for Raise Your Glass. I was the nun that has sex with.
I gotta look that up. So raise your glass. I don't know the lyrics,
Yeah.
but I know the beat. That's so
Yeah.
funny. So what are you playing now? I saw you playing Overwatch, and you do
Overwatch.
and then you do what's that other one? Among Us.
Yeah, we play Among Us.
I want to get in on that.
I've been trying to, yeah, for sure. Join my Discord server. I need to fix my reaction rules, and then I'll put the Discord link back up so people can join us. But
I actually don't know how to use Discord, and it confuses me. But I'll
It's-
join. I'll join and you show me because
it's
I want to play
simple.
Among Us.
it's simple.
Mm.
I'll put you in a special thing where you'll just have access to the Among Us chat. How about that?
Fuck yeah, I'm in. I'm in.
So then you can just open it and it'll be like Erin Marie OMG chat join. That's it.
Perfect.
I'll just give you a special role, so that's all you can see.
Okay, deal. Now, do you
But,
play the
yeah.
Jackbox games? I feel like you would love those games. Oh,
Yeah.
those are a jam.
Yeah, usually on Friday nights, since a lot of the people that I went to school with and stuff like that who still live in the Midwest have normal job. What is this piece of dust? Okay. It was driving me insane. I just kept glancing at it throughout this entire interview. They have normal jobs. A lot of people I grew up with are teachers and things like that now. So I try to get people together on Friday nights, both people who game and people who don't game, to play stuff that's more like Among Us or Jackbox or I never
Jackbox
got
is
anybody.
legit.
Nobody has the interest in horror that I have, since I like don't have any more horror movie friends, because I figured out that actors aren't your friends. So
I was an
It's-
extra.
it's-
I was an extra in Here Comes the Boom, so I can say I'm your actor friend. So
as long as you didn't add yourself on IMDb, you're fine.
no, I do have a I do have a credit on IMDb, but it wasn't my audition.
Nice.
I was on a game show, so I was on there, but I did a lot. I was killing it in Here Comes the Boom. You can see me. I was a killer background extra.
Yeah, I get some people together, like try to get a pretty decent group to do more simple to understand games like that, where like
Quiplash.
like once Quiplash, once Asher. We like to do epic. What is it called? Mad Rap City.
Yeah, I love that one. No,
City.
my
Yeah.
friends don't like doing that one. I think that one's hysterical.
Half of us love it, and half of us absolutely hate it.
I love
And
that one.
I have fun doing it. I don't have to actually rap the verses, so I'm fine with it. It can
Yeah.
suck. Like, it's not me. It's some weird robot's gonna say it, so it's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah, so we have a good time doing those kinds of things, and then pretty much the rest of the week, I obsessively play Overwatch, and it's a problem.
Yeah,
I feel
I've seen it.
my mechanics aren't great. Like, they're actually, my aim's not bad, but my mechanics aren't great. When I started playing my first person shooter was PUBG,
Okay.
and I just spent the whole time like slowly looting and walking into walls and forgetting to open and close doors.
Did you do
Like-
the thing where you don't know how to hold the gun, so you just
Oh,
do that
yeah.
crazy thing?
Yeah, it would take me forever to, like, I'd stop over something I wanted to pick up, and then I'd be like, okay.
You just keep doing that crouch.
They'd be like, okay, hold on. I need to get rid of this other backpack because I got a level 2 backpack. Where is it? Oh my God. Like it would take me forever.
I suck at those games.
It took me a long time to get there. Now, now I'm actually like, my movement is pretty good. My aim is above average. My tracking is mediocre. So since I'm kind of like in the average level of first person shooter gamer skill now, I feel like I like playing support anyway. So the way I'm probably going to rank up is to have more knowledge of the game than anybody else at my rank. So it's become like an obsession to know literally everything about the game.
That's
and
good.
I can't stop.
It's an addiction. I was playing Animal Crossing like way too much. I'm like 35 and I was playing Animal Crossing. I had like 200 hours and I was like, I need to stop playing this.
It's crazy. I don't know how many hours I have, like 3,000 hours or something on Overwatch.
I don't like how
It's
they tell you the
nuts.
hours. I don't like how they tell you that. I don't want to know.
To be fair, I've got to go to my profile in order to see it and all that, but it's a lot. I have like 3,000 hours in the game and like 2,500 are playing support probably. So,
That's awesome. But you can tell that like the Twitch is good for you. It seems like it's great for your mental health that you're playing and keeping busy.
yeah,
I feel like that's the game plan for all of us. Um,
yeah.
Now I want to end with this, and then we'll have a little bit more fun with a couple of questions, and I'll let you go. What would you say to yourself back then, and what would you recommend and say about like the whole mental health aspect to yourself? What are some tips? What is something that you would say to help them in that moment, or just not even you, just people in general that were your age or in your situation? You have any tips, suggestions, theories? Stare at the
I would
wallpaper.
I would say I was actually staring at my acoustic foam thinking, is that what she was talking about? But no, I'm not going to let her.
Oh yeah, don't no
Not
real
going to let
estate in
her
your
in my
head.
head.
Yep.
She didn't even know I had acoustic foam. So no, she's just,
You know what? Fuck her.
yeah, she's just an awful fucking person.
Yeah. Hopefully
Um,
she fucking stubs her toe today.
hopefully she stubs her toe. Jeez.
I don't care.
Next you're gonna say hopefully she steps on a Lego. Like, oh my
Yeah.
God.
Hopefully she doesn't put SPF on the tops of her feet and she gets a fucking terrible burn all day.
Oh my God.
The worst. Oh,
Good
that's like the holy
Lord.
trinity of shitty
Too
things.
far. Too far.
Yeah. Gonna
Too
get
far.
canceled.
um I would say you need to do what you need to do to make yourself okay. You're not hurting anybody. If you're not hurting anybody, which I wasn't. So if I was speaking to myself, I would say you're not hurting anybody except yourself. And you don't owe any of these people a fucking explanation for anything that's going on with you because it's your business. So you don't need to tell them anything. You don't need to answer to them. You need to go and you need to talk to your therapist. And these people can go screw themselves.
Yep.
Um,
I like that.
That drove me insane for a very long time. Like, I need to offer, even if I'm accepting full responsibility for doing something wrong, it was always, I need to explain to you, though, you don't understand why what you're saying is making me so upset, or why I'm so upset that I messed up and I'm crying because I'm legitimately upset that I've done something wrong. It's not that they don't need an explanation. I don't owe anybody an explanation for anything.
Yep.
It's my life. We're not talking about me messing up at work. Like, we're talking about my mental health. It's none of your goddamn business. You can mind your own. Stop trying to explain to people. They're not going to understand because they're not you. Go talk to your therapist. They'll guide you through it.
Yep. I like it. Good words. I like that a lot. Now, let's end with this. I want to hear 3 things that you're grateful for, even like just the little things in life or something out of the box. What would yours be?
Oh, I am grateful for my dog.
Oh, great call. What kind of dog?
Yes. I have a Chihuahua. He's usually in here. He has his own cam on my stream.
That's awesome.
but he gets bored quickly unless he's
Yeah.
behind me. So he's
Plus,
got a
he can only see you
that's
die so many times in the game.
Here, camera, refocus. There we go.
Yeah.
Um, I'm thankful for my dog, my little blue-eyed Chihuahua, Mr. Marbles. I'm thankful for my fiance. He is probably the one person who's really tried to understand me and support. So everybody needs a person like that.
Yep.
Just happens to be the person I live with. And I'm grateful for all the woodworking and carpentry skills I've been learning in quarantine.
Wow, I like that answer because I don't know how to do shit.
Yeah, I did this. This used to be carpet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and this desk back here, I also have one, but I built both these desks. I built
Z-
a workout shed.
Zigga zigga, you got it.
This is what I'm doing during quarantine is ripping up carpets and learning to refinish hardwood floors. They were so bad. I was like, well, if I mess it up, I just have to replace them anyway. So
Right, and that's good to have that because we all need to stay busy. That's why I did the podcast, and now I'm just get to talk to you, and it's pretty rad, you know.
yeah.
Now I like to do this too. Is like if you have a music suggestion that like gets you that like makes you happy or just something that you've been listening to, like what would you recommend? And the same for like a movie suggestion for the same reasons. But if you say one of your fucking movies, I'm ending this call abruptly.
I would never. I would never. I wouldn't mention any of my movies.
I know. I'm sorry I brought them all up.
I want you to be sane. So, no, I really do love some of my films though.
You have to. And then think of like a theme song as well that you would come out to, like if you were like a professional wrestler with your ears on.
That would be Survival by Eminem.
Oh, okay. Why is it that Till I Collapse is at every gym? Like when you open up a gym, do they just give you that song for free?
I mean, they should.
They
should.
I've heard it in every gym.
That was that whole album. I listened to that entire album nonstop. I would just walk, like I would go to school. I would go to like practice. I would go to rehearsal. I would come home. It would be like 10 p.m. I'm like, I'm not going to bed yet because I'm going to walk around for the neighborhood for 2 hours with my headset on. And I'm going to listen to this Eminem CD.
And you just like walking around.
I just had
like
this little disc man, like walking around with a disc man. Oh, God.
That first album came out in middle school when we were in middle school because I remember my friend like illegally downloaded it before it came out. And we were like, this is fucking cool. And then,
yeah. I think My Name Is came out when I was in like 6th grade.
Yeah, we're both 35. It came out like right in middle school. And then, Till I Collapses, it goes Reggie, Jay-Z, Tupac. That's the best part of the song. Now, what would be your music or movie suggestion? Maybe a deep cut that people wouldn't really know?
Oh, let's say, wait, music or movies or music?
Yeah, both. One of each. Like
okay,
what's something?
One of each.
Yeah, what would you recommend?
Music, I would say...
Maybe even like an obscure band.
You haven't been keeping up with Pentatonics, you should.
Pentatonics.
Okay. They're really popular, but I think, people will see one or two of their covers or something like that. Then they forget about them for a long time until another one goes really viral. And they're just so good. Even if you don't like a cappella music, like you don't have to like a cappella music to appreciate how good their covers are. I particularly like their cover of The Sound of Silence.
That's a great song. And I think my wife knows the Pentatonics. I think they might have seen them. I could be mistaken. Or I'm thinking of
jealous.
S Club. Or maybe I'm thinking of S Club 7.
I remember S Club 7. Oh, man.
You want to hear the smartest song of all time? And this was a song that was played in our generation because I think it came out, is Vitamin C Graduation. I want to know how much she's making every year when that's getting played. Like even on Spotify.
My God.
Like she's the smartest artist of all time.
It's so smart.
It's so smart. And then just as we go on, we remember all the times we had together. Oh man.
Oh
All right,
man.
let's end with the movie one because you're a movie person actress. Or maybe even say who would you love to work with? Like that's what I want to hear. Like who's on like your list of like an actor? Like you are in a movie, you get to cast one actor, one actress. Who you picking? And we'll end with this.
Cillian Murphy,
Who's that?
the guy from 28 Days Later.
Oh, okay, yeah, and yep, okay,
He
yep.
was the Scarecrow in the Christian Bale Batmans.
He's like a low key scary looking dude.
He's so good though.
Yeah.
He's brilliant. I love him.
Mine would be the bad guy from The Mask.
Yeah.
Just jokes.
And I think Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
What is she in? I know these names, but I can't picture them.
She was in Fargo like a couple of years ago.
Okay, yep. And she was in was she in Burn After Reading?
Good question. I'm not sure. She was in Final Destination 3. She was in Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Who is she in Scott Pilgrim?
She's the girl, Ramona.
Oh, the main girl.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, yep. I'm thinking of a totally different. I'm thinking of like an older lady. But no, yeah, okay, yep.
Yeah, she's super fun. I thought she was really very interesting in Final Destination 3. She did not get enough credit for how good she actually was in that kind of movie.
What was the opening scene at death in that? Was it the roller coaster?
Roller coaster.
Okay, all right. That's the only reason only way I can remember it. And I don't even watch those movies. I just go to YouTube and just watch all the death scenes. That's all I do.
Yeah, that was a good one. The first two were so much more goofy than the third one. I felt really bad. I brought a friend who doesn't like horror movies, and I was like, "No, they're goofy. It's fine."
No, when Sean William Scott gets his like head cut in half.
Yikes!
Yeah, that was tough. That was tough.
I felt real bad. I felt real guilty.
They're goofy. The one woman burns to death. There's a couple ruthless ones.
Oh, the tanning bed.
Oh, that's like every girl's worst nightmare.
Oh my God.
Was Devon Sawa in that one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, Idle Hands.
I love Devon Sawa. He's great.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Shout out Devon Sawa.
Yeah.
What's up?
Old school. That was my favorite. One of my favorite movies as a kid that like made me want to be an actor was The Little Giants.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Which
nobody
you can totally
talk about my mama
from my horror movie career. Can't you tell? All
Rick
the
Moranis
movies.
Rick Moranis was in that Sandlot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I always wanted to be the one girl who was in the sports movies. I think just because I played so many sports and like that's just what I did. I just always played sports.
there was the second one where there was girls in it, but this is a deep cut because I love the Sandlot so much that do you know the name of the kid Smalls replaced? Because remember he came in and they were missing one kid. This is my fun fact that I learned by watching the movie because I rewatched it and I was like, I want to know the kid's name. Ham says it a couple times when he's frustrated.
It didn't start with A.
No, it started with an E. It's when Ham's like getting mad. He's like, "Oh, I can catch. At least you could hit the ball." When he moved out, I think he moved to Arizona. His name was Elswinger.
Elswinger.
Yep. Take that to the bank and use that. Watch the movie again. It's when Smalls, I think it's the first time he's playing with them, and he can't catch the ball, and he's like,
no wonder he left.
Yeah. So
I'd leave too.
Elswinger, man.
Yep. Change my name and come back.
Yeah, exactly.
I would assume that's his last name now that I'm thinking about it. I mean, it's a sports team. They probably called him by his last name. Wonder what his first name was. Probably wasn't any better.
Mitch Elswinger or Eddie Elswinger, I would say.
Eddie Elswinger.
Yeah, that's a name, right? That's gonna be my persona, my fake email address name.
Theodore Edward Elswinger.
Oh, I like
the third Esquire.
Hogan Elswinger. That rolls off the tongue like a rock.
People have some weird names now.
They do. They really do. I think Jason Lee has a kid's name, and his name's Pilot Inspector from Mallrats,
Okay.
yeah.
Like we're just getting ridiculous. Come on now.
I know this. I love how this conversation has gone off the rails at the
I
end.
know.
This is my favorite part, though.
I try not to judge other people's choices, but at some point I'm like, what kind of damage am I doing to my child socially? Like maybe this will be like an inside joke thing that nobody needs to know about.
Yeah, if he's not a pilot inspector in real life, that's gonna be real awkward.
Right?
Another one I love is L.A. Line A. Do you know what that name is?
Oh, Ladasha?
Oh my God, that's an all-time classic.
It's crazy. Like we've had some weird names at my high school, but nothing like these like weird celebrities and stuff name their kids where I'm just like, huh, okay. I'm glad your child's rich and privileged because if they had to go to public school with that name, they would not last.
Yeah.
Like this would go real bad. So dope. I guess I'll see, Bathtub Winstead in kindergarten or whatever you named your freaking child. I don't know.
Refrigerator
Whatever.
Jones.
Right, Refrigerator Jones.
There's a stand-up comedian called Hamburger Jones. It's not his real first name, but he's a great comedian. Every time he says a joke, he goes, hamburger.
I have a friend that we call Burgers.
Good Burger?
No, but that movie was awesome too.
Yeah, it's still... I feel bad for Kel because he's not on SNL with Keenan. That was like my biggest heartbreak. And he tried out for it too. There's a lot of good actors that tried out for SNL. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were like, we don't like orange soda. Get the fuck out of here. There's the door.
They like that grape nonsense.
Yeah, fucking goddamn SNL.
It's nasty.
But let's finish with this.
They only have Tang.
Oh, Tang, the orangutan. That's why they had an orangutan. I didn't even fucking think of that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm a
Isn't
fucking
it
idiot.
weird? Like the lines, like all the dots that you connect later in life, and you're like, oh.
I totally forgot about the two other chefs with Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Do you remember that? There was 3 chefs on the box and 2 of them just... Yeah, the 2 of them left. Why were they even chefs for a fucking cereal?
I don't know.
Oh my God. Okay. Let's end this. Erin, where can everyone find you and locate you? What are your handles? What is your Discords or whatever your kids are doing?
I am Erin Marie OMG on pretty much everything. Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. Oh yeah, Twitch. That's the one I care about, right? I haven't been live in a while, but maybe if people want to come, I'll be live again. I've just been taking some of the stress off of doing things and refinishing floors instead.
I will share it, but I want an 8x10 signed photo and I can hang it up in my cat closet.
I can do that.
I have all this goofy shit that I keep putting up because everyone made fun of me. I didn't have anything on the wall. So yeah, I need to add to it.
Yeah, I definitely, I upgraded when I decided to refinish the floors. To be fair, it smelled really bad in here. That's what happens when you have pets. Sometimes they pee on things.
And I feel like a lot of gamers smell. So did you like sit there for 24 hours and just not shower? Because I feel like that's the thing.
I have.
Okay, that's disgusting.
Usually, yeah. Every year for the past 3 or 4 years, I've done Extra Life. And I was doing 24-hour streams for charity. So yeah, the last year I made my goal way too high. I should not have said $500 because nobody wants to pay $500 for anything. And I managed to pull it off. I'm pretty sure Nick donated like $100 of that. So
Eddie Ellswinger was donating $350.
Right? So I need to think of another gimmick because 35-year-old body cannot handle sitting in one place for 24 hours anymore. That just 1 year I was fine. And then the next year I couldn't do it. I did it.
I'd be
somehow
toast. I'd be absolutely toast.
But I gotta think of another gimmick.
Well, you know what? I'll figure it out and I'll send it to you.
All right, sounds good.
I'm very good at that. I can come up with good ideas. I'll be your marketing person.
All right. I'm terrible with marketing.
Yeah. Marketing McCarthy. That's what they call me. And that's what they call me. I just call myself that. But Erin, thank you so much for taking the time and chat with me. This has been really fun. I can't wait to chat with you again. And again, I love you and good luck with everything. And just keep twitching and discording.
I will. I'll keep doing my thing.
Awesome. Thank you, Erin. Have a great one.
Thanks. Thanks for having me.